Shut up and sit down.
Hello there, my little sinners. So today I'm a little excited and nervous. Also, side note, please ignore the colour of my hair to the colour of my hair. Minimal bleaching it, blah, 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 blah. I've explained in the last video. So today I actually want to talk about something scary that's kind of been happening. Scary and exciting for me. I do believe in ghosts. I'm not like a person who goes, oh my god, that pen rolled away, it's a ghost. But I definitely am a believer in spirits and paranormal activity, although I will try and find a scientific explanation for things. Like, I don't believe in orbs. When I do see an orb, it's very rare I believe them. It has to really be like, holy shit, it's glowing, or the rest of the picture's blurry, but yet that's perfectly circular, you know what I mean? But most of the time, I just think it's too easy for it to be like dust or a bug. Anyway, I'm going too into depth here. But yeah, basically, yes, I do believe in ghosts. I want to talk to you guys about weird experience that I've been having. And as you saw in the last video, I have two teddy bears. Giant teddy bears. One being Charlie. He's the first teddy bear I ever got. Absolutely love him. But I kind of see him as a her as well. So don't assume the gender. And the other one is Paddington here. Now, since I got Paddington, weird shit has been happening. I'm going to put pictures here. One being of his tag that he has, so like on his bottom. Sorry, I'm revealing him. Or her, don't assume. And basically like just, you know, the company and stuff like that. I think they were made in like the 60s. Fuck, I keep knocking it. I think they were made in like the 60s, going on to like the early 2000s or something like that. That's when the company ended. I can't find out when he might have been manufactured. I also can't find any other teddy bears like him. I got him at a charity shop. He was only a tenner. I mean, look how big this mofo is. Like, getting closer, you can really see how big he is. Like, I'm on a double bed. I'm at the edge of the bed. That's him at the far end of the bed, and he's huge. He's so cute. I love him. I love him, but I think he might be haunted. Basically, when I got him, it was a rough time for me. I was very emotionally unstable, and I was very vulnerable. I got him as a late birthday present from two really like brilliant people that I'm not going to name. But two amazing people. I got him as a present, and he just cheered me up when I really needed that. The first couple of days that I had him, it was very hard to sleep. I had constant nightmares. And you know what? I wasn't like, at that point, because when I had my other teddy bear, I had nightmares. It's just like a typical thing that happens when you've got something that big in your environment with eyes and legs and, you know, feet and stuff like that. You know, you can't help but go, this is a little weird. So, you know, I wasn't thinking anything about it. The one thing that was a bit different to when I had Charlie is, with Charlie, the nightmares were always different. It was always like, oh, I wake up and Charlie's head's facing towards me, or I wake up and he's standing with a knife over me, or, you know, just he's scuttering across the end of the bed, you know, and stuff like that, you know, typical like nightmare stuff. And with Paddington, it was different. It was always the same nightmare, which gave me goosebumps. That freaked me out more than the nightmares, because it was like sleep paralysis. I think I'm saying that right. Sleep paralysis. But I knew I was asleep, if that makes sense. I don't know. Basically, I was like sleeping here on this side of the bed. And on the bottom right hand of my bed, I remember waking up and seeing like a dark figure, and it looked like of a little girl, I'm assuming. White kind of dress. It's very dark image, and this is from a while ago. A very dark image, and the girl looked like she was like soaking wet or something like that. And I was like, oh my god, the girl from The Ring is coming for my soul. I swear I didn't watch the tape. She's sitting at the end of my bed, and I'm like, okay, cool. I can't fucking move. I've never had sleep paralysis before, but it was like sleep paralysis, but I knew I was asleep. So it wasn't like too scary, but it was still enough to be like, I don't like this. No. So I was like, that's weird. After a week, they stopped. I was like, okay, cool. And suddenly, every night, like legit, without fail, the electricity for the entire house started going off. It wasn't for the street, just our house. And my bedroom's on the bottom floor. Next floor, like kind of just cohabiting spaces, you know, kitchen, living room. And then the very top floor is like everybody else. I'm very singled out. It's like I'm the secret child. This room is my Harry Potter room. Just like tucked away in the corner, like, dude, no one needs to know that she's there. So I'm on the bottom floor, and right across my door from me is the garage. And what's in the garage? The fuse box. So lucky me got to go in and change the fuse box. Well, not change it, you know, flick the switches and reset it every night. And I had to keep like a timer like of when it all happened. And after the first 2 to 3 nights, I started noticing a weird pattern. At first it went off at like 12 o'clock. I was like, oh, whatever. Then it was like 12:30, and then got to 1 a.m. And it was always happening at night. I was like, fuck. And then the last couple of nights, it was like dead on 3 o'clock. Dead on 3 o'clock. Dead on 3 o'clock. So I was a bit like, oh, well, I'm pooping the bed. So I was keeping note of all of this, and went in, switched it off. And sometimes you would even switch it back on, come back out, and immediately, like these were the 3 a.m. ones, immediately as soon as I get back into that lovely, nice, warm, cozy bed, what happened? The electricity would go off. Thought that'd be nice and dramatic. So electricity would go off, and I was like, lucky me! Now the garage actually, it doesn't like scare me, but it's not a nice place to be. So I don't really like being in there, especially on my own with all the spiders and the critters. And then to get to the fuse box as well, you have to climb over like wood onto this couch. And then climb on the like edge of the couch to reach over like to the fuse box and be like, So I did notice, however, that on the like every time it was flipping, it was a certain switch. So I wrote down the switch number and stuff like that, and it stopped for a while. I was like, oh, I actually got a night of sleep. It was like pure bliss. And I went to bed. I was like, yeah, no more need to worry. Just went straight to bed. You know what my dad said? This didn't really freak me out, but it was weird to me. So I said, so Dad, did you find out what the fuse switch that keeps going off, do you know what it's linked to? And he was like, oh yeah, it's linked to the jacuzzi outside. We had the previous owners before us had a jacuzzi outside. And my dad like cemented up this wall and covered up all the wires. He says it's that, which he didn't understand because he deactivated all the wires and cut everything off. And, you know, it's like, I must have just missed something and the water must be getting in concrete somehow. So he said, just keep that switch off and the rest should stop tripping. So okay, like I said, the lights didn't go off. And then this cringes me. Well, not cringes, but I don't know. It does funny things. It said 3:33. Oh, Paddington, don't look at me like that. I can feel the judgment. It said 3:33, and if no one knows what that means, that is the witching hour. That is like the night where, you know, the veil is like closest to each other. I don't know. Well, apart from, you know, Halloween 3:33, obviously. But so I was like, okay. And then my dad found out which switch it was again. I said, what switch was it this time? And he was like, this time it was the bathroom jacuzzi. And I didn't even think much of it. And then I got downstairs and I was like, that's weird that it's both jacuzzis. The one outside's tripping and the one on a completely different system is tripping. I was like, that's really weird. And I was like, hold on. I started remembering Paddington and the nightmares. I was like, wasn't that girl soaking wet when I saw her in the corner? So I immediately released my bowels and then collected myself after the crying. Like that really like got me. And I was like, okay. And I kind of brushed it off. I was like, just some really weird coincidences. Just really weird coincidences. So, carried on. Literally like a couple of weeks later, I did like this little photo shoot with my sister. And, you know, I was a Mad Hatter and it was like for her school project. And she wanted me to like design the outfit and do the makeup. So I was like the Mad Hatter and she was like Red Riding Hood, and it just snowed and it was all like so perfect and we had great fun. And that day I came downstairs and I got undressed and I was lying in bed and I was just editing video and I was like, ow, my foot's stinging. Like it just was like burning stinging. So I was like, that's weird. So I went and had a look and I had like a cut, like a scratch cut, but it was like dibit, but it still had a line going down it completely, and there was so much blood, like so much blood. I don't understand how there was so much blood from such a little cut. I was like, oh, that probably could have happened, you know, getting changed or anything like that. And then I was like, hold on, it couldn't have, because I remember taking off the tights I was wearing and like looking at my feet because my feet were hurting a bit because we were like in weird positions doing all these weird photos and shit like that, and my feet were really cold. I was like, oh my god, I need to rub my feet and warm them up. So I did all that and there was no blood whatsoever. And then I laid in bed and I just made the bed, fresh sheets, everything, so there wasn't like anything in my bed that could have done it. And then I was in the bed for like half an hour before it started and I was like, okay, I'm calling my best mate. So I called my best mate and we're chatting on the phone saying this, that and the other, blah, 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 blah. It wasn't until later on I actually noticed that the cuts were like, there were 6 of them. So it's like, you know, 666. I don't know. It was just a bit weird. I was like, ooh, I don't know, channeling as much as I can. But yeah. So that happened and I was on the phone with her chatting and she's like, oh my god, you know what you should do? And I was like, what? She's like, you should take like pictures in your room in the dark with flash. And I was like, great idea. That isn't scary at all. So I turned off all the fucking lights on my own. No one else is in the house. So if a fucking spirit wants to fucking take my body and then like make me go, wee! Then I'm going, because there's no one here to help. So I then start taking pictures in the dark, and the first couple are like nothing, and then suddenly an orb. Now, like I said before, I don't really believe in orbs and anything like that. So this picture, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really believe it, but it's weird because after that picture, I don't think I have the pictures saved. I think these are like what I've pulled off my feed that I sent to my friend. So it's like these are pictures I pulled from that, so it's not saved from my phone because I just deleted them because I wanted space on my phone and I wasn't really thinking to make a story time out of this until she said. So I actually got like my sparkly, you know, you've seen the videos, well, you might have not. I put some videos up and there's like sparkles sometimes in my videos because of the light. So I stirred up my makeup, you know, the sparkliest, shimmeriest one I could find, and sprinkled it in the air, and then I began to flash photos again, seeing if it was that. Not a single sparkle orb in the video. All the pictures, just like nothing. And I was like, cool. So I was like fooling around with my phone camera and I found this option that like lets you track. I think it lets you track like body parts, you know, of people. Like when you put it on my face, it was like eyes, nose, mouth. I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I should use this. I started taking like pictures at the end of my bed, you know, where the girl was, like seeing if I could find a figure. And I saw these. Basically, the figure started off like behind the TV and then moved to the corner of the bed where I've always seen that figure in my dreams. Then move forward and then it looks like it puts like a leg or an arm on the bed. And then it looks like the whole body's on the bed. And then it's like getting closer and closer. And then I was just seeing two eyes. And I was like, I'm going to leave this room now. I'm respectably a little bit freaking out by that. It might not be a body capturing thing. I swear it was though. And all this, I couldn't really record or take pictures. I had to like screenshot it because as soon as I took a picture of recorded, the things, tracking things would like vanish. So I was like, okay. And to be honest, nothing much since then has actually happened. Nothing more freaky has happened. And then suddenly this started happening. My cat is just entranced with the fucking sky. Now, there was no one in the house. There is a room above me, but no one's in that. This time, she was like fully entranced with it, and then she started fucking pouring at it. Pouring at the air. Do you hear me? Pouring at the air. So I'm there like, and then she looks at me and I'm like, bitch, don't you look at me. No, the ghost is not over here. Fuck off. And she goes back and she's like before this, she was going mental. She was like hissing and all that shit. My boyfriend was trying to get my attention. I was like, bitch, I'm doing my makeup. Fuck off. And then he's like, bitch, you fucking look at this weird shit. And then I looked at it and I was like, bitch, that's some weird shit. So, Toothless has never acted like that, ever. And I don't understand why that just suddenly started happening. And then after that, like a couple of days after, she would lay on my stomach and she would stare at my right hand shoulder. She would not lose eye contact. But usually if I give her a treat, she's normally like, treat? You know, you say what? And she just loses it. Even if I touch her, sometimes she's like, meh. Like she does that weird chirp thing, like, meh, meh. Toothless, how do you do it? So normally she makes like that little chirp noise and then she looks at me and then we go back to cuddling. But no matter, even with a treat, no matter what I did, she was determined to stare. And then she starts hissing, not at me, over my fucking shoulder, my right hand shoulder. And I'm like, I'm just gonna lie here and watch some like, just gonna go on the Xbox and just put a video on. Yep, okay, yeah, you keep hissing. So I thought that like all that weird shit was over, but then my cat started getting agitated by anything. And, well, not anything, it was literally like the sky that agitated her. To be fair, it happened like 3 times. Well, the lying on my chest happened 5. The pouring at the sky and shit that wasn't there happened twice. I've had Toothless since she was 3 days old. And when I first got her, she was with a litter of 4 and she was covered in fleas. Like, it was atrocious. I think she was anemic. Like, she had no energy. They're supposed to have food every 2 hours. she slept through the first night, not asking for any food at all. Like, they were, you know, just so exhausted. And so I made a plan that every morning, fresh box, wash everything, you know, fresh bedding and shit like that. And each kitten I combed through and bathed. And that was their routine for like 4 weeks, maybe a bit more than that, until I got every single one off them. And so she's kind of used to water. Like, I'll put a video here. She's played in water. That is if I can find the video, download it to my phone, because it's probably on like Instagram or something. But she's played in water, and she digs in it, you know, and she'll lick it off her hand. And, you know, if I'm in the bath, she'll gladly come in the bath and sit next to me. If I put her in the bath, sure, she's not a big fan of it, but she'll sit there and she'll be like, no, stop it. Oh, Mom. You know, just like little long meows like, nah, bitch, I don't want this life. But she would sit there. She wouldn't be like clawing me. She'll sit there and be like, I don't like this. Oh, but I guess I'll just sit here and take it. So she's never had a problem with like water. It hasn't been her best friend, but she's not like terrified of it. And suddenly out of nowhere, like the shower, if I went to the shower, she would run, like pelt it. Normally if I'm brushing my teeth, she'll love licking the toothpaste off it. Like, she loves toothpaste. So she'll run into the bathroom, sit on the toilet while I brush my teeth, and she's like trying to get some toothpaste, like she'll jump on my shoulder like, and I'm there like, no, and she's there like, yes, and I'm there, no. For her to run away from me having a shower was very peculiar. And I was brushing my teeth and she was nowhere to be seen. She was outside the door just sitting there like, like she wanted to come in but she didn't, which freaked me out. I was like, what's wrong? You know, and I would bring her in and she went mental. She was like, no, and then like she didn't hiss, but she was like trying to get away from me, which she never does. Normally it's Cam, my boyfriend, who she's like, nah. This was really weird, and she wasn't even drinking her own water. Like, when I gave her water, she wasn't drinking it. So I got really scared, and I came up with a plan and sorted her out, and she started drinking the water again, but that was a bit odd for me. Yeah, it just seems like everything's getting a bit weirder and weirder. Like, it started off kind of like, meh, and then I think the worst bit is just like my cat, you know, getting involved with it, and then the shoulder thing, and then like my friend said if it's over the right shoulder, then it means that it wants to kill you. No, I don't want to kill you. It means that it's pretending to be good, but it's really bad, and that makes them the worst. I don't know. I don't know a lot of shit about this stuff. So if anyone can like tell me maybe information about, this guy here, like, I'm not gonna get rid of him. I will not. I love him. Like, if it's that bad, I'll get an exorcism. I don't know. But yeah, if anyone has information maybe about the factory or whether it worked or anything about a girl, if anyone finds any history on that, that would be greatly appreciated. So I hope to see you next time. Peace!